Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! I really believe that everybody deserves to be happy in their lifetime, and how happiness is obtained is through the power of a friendship. And the beautiful friendship between Nova and Victor in Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires was the exemplification of that. And I fell in love with that friendship because of each and every one of you. You guys were emailing me trying to get my attention towards Victor and Nova, and you did it. And ever since then, I've been uploading videos about Victor and Nova. You guys have succeeded in your quest to make Jonathan Clarke a fan of Freya Skye and Malachi Burton's friendship in Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires, and it's brought us to this, where thousands of people have subscribed to this YouTube channel because of my support of Freya Skye and Malachi Burton, which I will continue to show and showcase for you guys for the foreseeable future, because I know how much they mean to each and every one of you. And I just want to take this moment to say thank you to everybody on this beautiful evening as the sun is officially set behind us there, as you see in the background, for all the love and support that you've shown my videos for Freya and Malachi, because I believe the more support and the more love that we show to them and we dedicate to them, the further they're going to take their careers, because I believe their stars have never shined brighter than ever before. And I may be the only guy on YouTube who believes this, apart from the fans, because most people on YouTube are critics. And I do want to apologize for all the critics' videos that are being uploaded about Freya Skye and Malachi Burton, because they have no place in the conversation, because I believe that if we're going to say something about Freya Skye and Malachi Burton's friendship, we should say something nice. And we should give a positive vibe to the fans of Descendants of Zombies, who have deserved far better reviews of their favorite characters and their favorite moments that have made them fans than ever before, and for far long enough. And I just wanted to be that guy to give it to you guys. You guys, it's become very apparent to me, obviously saw a hero in me when nobody else ever did, and you guys gave me a chance to be heard and seen by a whole new global audience. And you took a YouTube channel that started as a whisper and turned it into a sensation overnight and made me a superstar overnight, and I have each and every one of you to thank for that. Because of you guys, more people know who Jonathan Clarke on YouTube is than ever before, and I can never seem to put into words. Every single night that I sit behind this podcast microphone, I'm left at a loss for words, because I can't put into words how appreciative I am of every single person who may have loved Freya Skye, may have loved Malachi Burton, who I see potential in. Let me just say that. When you have a girl showing up on stage every single night for 43 arena dates, night in and night out, night after night, with so much heart and dedication, where does criticism belong in any conversation having anything to do with Freya Skye and Malachi Burton? Answer me that question and riddle me that, if I can quote the Riddler from the Batman comics. It doesn't make sense to me at all. Obviously, it has a lot to do with a certain degree of jealousy that every critic possesses on YouTube, and there are a lot of people out there that are confined by jealousy, that are held down by jealousy, that are jealous of the success of people like Freya and Kylie and Malia. It's really ridiculous to me, and it's become very apparent to me that people who are uploading videos about Descendants of Zombies don't share in the same passions that we do. All I've ever wanted to do with every video that I've ever uploaded is for you guys to follow your passions, regardless of what your passions may have been. Regardless if it was to sing or dance or be on the volleyball team or the cheerleading squad, whatever your passions were, all I ever wanted you to do was follow your passions and keep with your passions for forever and always, because your passions will always lead you down a promising road of success and dignity. And that's what I'd love to convey on these videos, and that's why from the very first video that I ever uploaded on this YouTube channel, I promised you guys that I would forever and always be here out of support and love for your favorite stars. Because I've seen the dedication that Freya Skye has put behind every performance, from the production of her EP to the performance of Nova and Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires, and I've also heard very promising reviews of Freya from people like Meg and Milo, who were executive producers for Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires, and I think that sitting behind the microphone and sitting behind the camera as a director for Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires gave them a greater appreciation for who the torch had been passed to, and they got to a point where they realized that everything was coming full circle for Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires. I really do believe that there's a point that you get to as a writer and a producer that you realize everything is happening for a reason. And I think that these stars have a lot of potential and a brighter future in store for them than perhaps anybody that we've ever seen be a part of any franchise for Disney. And this is coming from a guy who's been a part of everything. I was there for the premiere of Hannah Montana back on March 24th, 2006. I was there for the premiere of Wizards of Waverly Place in October of 2007. And I felt very fortunate to be a part of everything that I had the chance of being a part of as a fan of Disney. Because I sit behind this microphone every single night as a fan, just like each and every one of you. I don't sit behind this microphone as a journalist or a critic because I want to come off as a fan. And I want to enjoy whatever I have left on the radio, on YouTube, as a fan. Because years ago, people looked at me as a journalist and a guy who had nothing nice to say about anybody or anything. But I had the chance of talking about so many different niches, and I had the honor of meeting so many wonderful people because of this YouTube channel. I think that friendship has never been more apparent because of Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires, because of Descendants 5 Book of Wonderland upcoming this summer. And I've never been more excited to profile the futures of these stars because I see success in every imaginable way when it comes to Clarke Contrell. Do I have issues seen with her crying all the time on YouTube videos and TikTok videos that are uploaded to this platform every single night that are edited by fans? Sure I do, because they see the worst in everything. I think that if we're going to showcase Clarke Contrell and we're going to showcase Malia Baker, we should talk about them in a nice way and give off a nice vibe. Because somewhere out there in this really big universe tonight, there is somebody who is a fan of Descendants and Zombies who just wants to watch the best videos that she can find about Descendants and Zombies and her favorite characters and her favorite moments that made her a fan of Descendants and Zombies. And I just want to say my heart goes out to each and every single person who YouTubes Descendants and Zombies every single night, because I watch the trends. I see how you're YouTubing the 10th anniversary dolls, your favorite moments, your favorite songs. And I'm here to tell you guys there's nothing wrong with that. And I want you to continue to follow on with your passions, because if you follow along with your passions, they will never steer you wrong. The conversations about Descendants and Zombies will always be steered in a positive direction. And that's always what I wanted to do with every video that I've ever uploaded. To give hope and praise to people like Freya and Malachi and Meg and Milo, who took zombies and turned it into a sensation overnight. I remember when they had conventions for zombies over 7 years ago, and they thought maybe 50 to 100 people would show up. And at every convention there were 200 to 300 people, anywhere from 250 to 300 people showing up at every convention that they would have for zombies. And at that moment they realized they had done something special. They had created something special. And every year after that, every month after that, they had conventions where thousands of people would eventually gravitate to zombies because they saw something special in a script that people thought would never amount to anything without even taking a chance on it, because that's what happened. Nobody ever wanted to take a chance on zombies. I do apologize for the wind in the background. There's a windstorm currently in progress, but that's one of the advantages of living on an island. It's really spooky and very mysterious on nights like this, and you often wonder if there's a mermaid listening to your show or hearing your voice in the sea beside you. I think that this franchise has captivated millions of people, and all I've ever wanted to do is bring it to life in a way that was never brought to life before. Because you see all these reaction videos, and as far as I'm concerned, these reaction videos are uploaded by people who have never watched zombies before. I've watched zombies. If I haven't watched zombies 100 times, dare I say I've watched zombies 1,000 times. And honestly, I'm seriously thinking about binge watching zombies tonight. And I'll probably get that done before the sun comes up tomorrow morning. And I'll probably post an extensive review of it. Because there were so many moments that made me a fan of Descendants and Zombies. From the very first moment that Zen and Addison laid eyes on each other and realized they wanted to spend the rest of their lives together. When Victor and Nova met each other for the first time after seeing each other in a reoccurring dream. When the movies opened up with songs like This Is Going to Be My Year and Legends in the Making, because it was a defining moment in the careers of these stars. Because they had gotten to a moment where they had reached a point of recognition and everybody knew who they were. Just think about it. One morning you wake up, you audition for Zombies, you get the call back from Disney, and then seemingly overnight you're a superstar. Just think about the pressure that is on your shoulders. What certain kind of expectations you have to live up to. The pressure must be mounting. The pressure must be unexplainable. But I really do have, gratitude and respect for these stars with how far they've come because of the images they have desperately tried to convey. I say this because years ago, Miley Cyrus learned so much so quickly on Hannah Montana. Demi Lovato did the same. And then they started exemplifying these weird behaviors. And then people started criticizing them for their choices in life without even giving them a chance. At least Meg and Dove, did stuff differently and perceived things differently. They tried to keep with their same image while changing it a little bit, but not so much. And I really appreciate that because these stars have exemplified so much gratitude for every opportunity they've been given, and I think they should really make the most of it. I don't think the restrictions are really necessary, and I think that they're smarter than they're ever given credit for. Descendants and Zombies fans are some of the smartest fans that I've ever had the honor of providing commentaries for. And I could upload thousands of videos about Descendants of Zombies every single night on this YouTube channel, feeling confident in my ability more than ever before, because I know I have the love and support of thousands of Descendants of Zombies fans who have subscribed here. And I have never ever wanted to go away, and I've never ever wanted to let you down. All I've ever wanted to be is your voice of Descendants of Zombies. While that may have never been intended from the very first video that was ever uploaded on this YouTube channel, and I went to bed one night and woke up with 500 subscribers seemingly overnight, you guys made me your voice of Descendants of Zombies, and I looked at that as an honor. So I've carried that honor with me everywhere I've went. In the conversations we've had about Malachi Burton and Freya Skye, Milo Manheim and Meg Donnelly, Dove Cameron and Mitchell Hope, we've kept the conversation going for the last at least 10 years. I may not have been uploading videos about Descendants of Zombies as often as I am now on a YouTube channel dedicated to Descendants of Zombies, but I was uploading the periodic video about Descendants of Zombies enough to achieve recognition. And now, I've become your voice of Descendants of Zombies nearly a decade and a half later. It's really hard to believe that it's been over 10 plus years since Descendants premiered. I'll never forget that night. Bunk premiered before it, and then followed by that was Descendants. Cameron Boyce had a double hit on Disney Channel that night, and was getting rave reviews. But I'll never forget, literally an hour after Descendants had premiered, people took to Rotten Tomatoes and TMZ.com without even giving it a chance, and chose to criticize it. And then years after that, here comes Zombies, trying to follow in the footsteps of Descendants, and nobody ever wanted to give it a chance. Especially Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, because as far as I'm concerned, nobody ever wanted to understand the concept of the two groups, and the confliction because of the Moonstone, the Bloodfruit, and what was the difference between a Daywalker and a Nightwalker. Anyone who is a super fan of Descendants and Zombies can decipher what a Daywalker and a Nightwalker is, and what's the difference between the two groups. A vampire is a creature that exists in the nighttime. A daywalker is a vampire that exists in the daytime. Like, remember how in the Vampire Diaries, for those of you who are young enough to remember it, or old enough to remember it, how they had special rings so they could go out in the daylight. Stefan and Damon did. It was a very interesting concept to introduce into a Zombies movie, but I think it really brought it to life, and it showed incentive. And it really allowed us to find purpose within ourselves. Because I think more so with Zombies and perhaps Descendants, we saw ourselves in these relationships with Zed and Edison, Victor and Nova, and we thought about ourselves finding true love and spending the rest of our lives with somebody that we cared deeply about. That's what I noticed about Zombies, and I forever held close to my heart, and I forever thanked the writers and producers for giving me the honor of talking about it and having the honor of meeting each and every one of you for the passions we've shared. I just saw the Zombies dolls actually a couple of days ago, and some videos of the unboxings done by the stars, and how appreciative Meg Donnelly and Freya Skye were of unboxing these dolls, and it got me to thinking about how much they have become immortalized because of these dolls. Because a lot of people will criticize an unboxing of a doll and say, you know, it's just a doll, you know, what are they getting on with? The thing is, when you get to a point in your career where you're immortalized by becoming an action figure or a doll, you've realized that you have a chance of going down in history for being one of the greatest of all time. Let me share a secret with each and every one of you. I've had a fear all of my lifetime of being forgotten and fading off into obscurity, because I've never ever wanted to go down that route. All I've ever wanted to become is the greatest of all time, and to go down in history for what I believed in and who I believed in. So be it. It's your favorite stars of Descendants and Zombies. And I know more now than ever before, because of each and every one of you. While I may not have an action figure or a doll, I will have the chance of going down in history for being one of the greatest of all time. But having action figures and dolls and merch is exactly what I wanted to have happen for Freya Skye and Malachi Burton. This is exactly what I wanted to have happen for Milo Manheim and Meg Donnelly, because nobody knew who they were before Zombies. And Zombies allowed them to get to a point of recognition. Because I think that's what we all want, is a point of recognition. While many of us may never want to be famous, because of the lifestyle that goes with it. Come to think of it, I would love to be famous because I would be known by more people than ever before, and my message would be spread further, because all I've ever wanted to do on this YouTube channel was spread a message of kindness and prosperity, and hope, and dedication. Because it's all about you, and how much you want your dreams to become a reality. That's what Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires tried to emphasize with this beautiful script. It was a very powerful script. It was a script that got me thinking about my own life and the friends that came into my life that only came into my life probably once for every lifetime. Because the friends that you do come into your lifetime that you see are friends that come into your lifetime for once every lifetime. So every moment that you share with them are moments that are special, and more special than perhaps ever been credit for. I miss all my friends from high school, to be honest with each and every one of you. I sit behind this microphone every single night, and before I turn on the microphone to talk to you guys about Descendants of Zombies from record a journal perspective, I think about my friends that I met in high school, what they may be doing, how many friends I can add on Facebook, how their lives have turned out. I think we all get to that point in our lifetime where we have a best friend that we miss, that we tell everything to. And I think that Victor and Nova have done a fabulous job representing that early on in the Zombies franchise. And what's so beautiful about their friendship is they still have a long way to go. They are figuring out their place in the world as actors and actresses, and the chemistry is off the charts. Years ago, we never saw that kind of chemistry with Miley Stewart and, of course, Lily Truscott from Hannah Montana. We never saw that from Miley Cyrus and Emily Osment because, of course, they were attending public school. Emily had a different viewpoint than what Miley did, and there was a lot of confliction. And I don't think there was ever a TV series that Disney produced on Disney Channel before Disney Plus came into the mix that actually had a lot of profound chemistry. So Descendants was really the first one that you kind of take a chance on and have a whole lot of fun with, because of the predictions that people were making early on and just how much fun they were having with it. And my issue lied with all the critics who didn't want to take a chance on it to begin with. I really love Descendants of Zombies for its powerful story, its powerful script. I think there was more of a chapter yet to be written. I think there's so much to talk about when you talk about your favorite characters and your favorite moments, because just to rank your favorite songs from top to bottom is simply just going 1 to 5 or 10 to 1. I think that you should tell everybody why a song like Legends in the Making defines as your favorite song, why you can define it and label it as your favorite song. For me, it has everything to do with wanting to go down in history for being one of the greatest of all time. While I may be a long way away from that ever happening for me, I know on the Zombies Swore Down to the Vampire soundtrack, my favorite song was always and forever Legends in the Making, because it defined what my legacy was forever and always meant to be. And because of each and every one of you, I have more of a chance than ever before, perhaps going down in history for being one of the greatest of all time. While that may never be evident, I know at least I got a chance, and I would love for each and every one of you to come along on this incredible journey. Because some way or somehow, this YouTube channel became the most popular Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel in the world. It's beyond me how. I just uploaded a Dove Cameron video one night at random, and then I woke up with 500 subscribers because they were fans of Dove Cameron. And then eventually it spun off into Descendants videos. Eventually Zombies came into the mix. And then I started uploading videos about Descendants of Zombies on a regular basis and established a fan base. And ever since then, you guys have been incredibly loyal to this show. And we have recorded videos under the most bizarre circumstances during thunder and lightning storms, during snowstorms like we're currently in the progress of, and windstorms on this island. And I've told you stories about how I was a fan of mermaids, how I was a fan of pirates, and how I'd love to see them come into the mix with the Zombies franchise. Because as soon as Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires aired, everybody took to D23.com and started talking about what's inside of this vortex. Nobody knew what was inside of the vortex, but it was cool to be a fan of zombies. And that's all anybody ever knew. And I was the only guy on YouTube that voluntarily offered to jump inside of this vortex to uncover what the mystery was behind it for each and every one of you. Probably because I was the only one brave enough. I really don't know. But I just want to put it out there that if the opportunity ever arose, I would definitely jump inside of this vortex, even though it's associated with doom and the end of time, to uncover the mystery of it, because I know how cool it sounds to each and every one of you. And you're saying to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clarke, don't you know a vortex has everything to do with the end of the world and the end of time? I get that. But that's the whole point I'm trying to make. If you're a fan of Descendants of Zombies, there's nothing wrong with having fun with it and being a fan of Descendants of Zombies and what makes you a fan. I think that it's wonderful. I think it's beautiful that more people are friends now because of Descendants of Zombies, and they've been friends for what feels like forever. This has become the greatest honor of my life to have not only talked about Descendants of Zombies, but have had the honor to meet each and every one of you. And what I would like to say at this time is thank you. Thank you so much for having made this YouTube channel the most popular Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel in the world right now, with over 75,000 channel views plus, over 3,000 subscribers plus, and over 2,000 plus watch hours. This is incredible. It happened because of each and every one of you. More people on YouTube know who Jonathan Clarke on YouTube is because of this niche. This niche is the most incredibly supportive niche that I've ever had the honor of providing commentary for, and I would love to be your voice to Descendants of Zombies for the foreseeable future moving forward. Thank you so much. We will talk more about Descendants of Zombies tomorrow morning between 8:35 and 9:05 a.m. which is something I'm incredibly excited about, and I would love to continue the conversation and pick it up right where we left off tomorrow morning. I'm a huge fan of Descendants of Zombies. I'm just like each and every one of you, and you guys have given me the honor of being your voice of Descendants of Zombies, and I've just forever and always wanted to honor that. No matter if the conversation's about Meg Donnelly, Milo Manheim, Malachi Burton, Freya Sky, this is a whole lot of fun, guys. And I have never felt more honored to be in your presence each and every single night to talk all things Descendants of Zombies. So if you have not hit my subscribe button or the like button or rang my bell to stay up to date with notifications, you're probably going to want to go ahead and get that out of the way right now, because this conversation doesn't have to end, because this story is far from over. And I'm excited for the foreseeable future and to be along for the ride. Guys, thank you so much. For everybody who ever said they were a fan of Descendants of Zombies, you have been watching the latest episode of Jonathan Clarke Video Blogs. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay calm and zombie on into the foreseeable future, because it's going to be a great one, and we're going to have a whole lot of fun heading into the summer of 2026, which is going to be a huge summer for all fans of Descendants of Zombies. And I'm going to be right here sitting in this chair reviewing Descendants of Zombies for the fans who have forever and always held a special place in their hearts because of Descendants of Zombies. Stay calm and zombie on, everybody, because life really is that much sweeter when all of us are. Thank you guys so very much.